Let's go ahead now and bring in Tom Dupree, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. Tom, judges, as you well know, in this country are the ultimate arbiters of the law, probably more so even than the lawmakers who write and pass the laws. So how much leeway do judges have to personally circumvent the law when they disagree with it?
Well, they have no leeway to break the law. Judges are held to the same standard that any other American is. I think what's particularly disturbing about this case is, to your point, judges take a sacred, solemn oath to uphold the law. And what this new video shows is apparently the judge engaging in a scheme to frustrate the execution of the law, to obstruct ICE agents from executing this warrant. So she may be a judge, but based on what we've seen on the video, she was acting in a very unjudicial capacity in that she was trying to thwart execution of, rather than uphold the law of the United States.
What about the counter-argument that, I guess, this is all new, right? These policies, sending ICE agents to the courthouses, everybody's sort of getting used to it, and no real protocols have been established yet for how anyone is supposed to handle any of that stuff. Does that carry any water?
I don't think it will carry a lot of water here. Judges may personally disagree with presidential policies. They may not like the way that the law is being carried out. They may not like these new policies, but that doesn't give them an excuse to try to thwart and obstruct federal agents from doing their jobs. Judges certainly can write opinions and express views of the law that are at odds with what the president says, but they can't take the law into their own hands. And just as a judge couldn't claim that they're judicially immune if they went out and robbed a bank, judges can't say that they're judicially immune if they do something that's outside of the role of being a judge, such as trying to help someone escape the clutches of federal agents who are just trying to enforce the law.
So here's from the judge's filing. She wants the case to be thrown out, dismissed, May 14th. This is what her lawyers write. The government's prosecution of Judge Dugan is virtually unprecedented, entirely unconstitutional. It violates the 10th Amendment and fundamental principles of federalism and comity reflected in that amendment and in the very structure of the U.S. Constitution.
Well, I think those arguments would be a lot stronger if what the judge was being prosecuted for was actually applying the law, deciding a case, writing an opinion, functioning as a judge. But here, she clearly wasn't. She went out into the hallway, but based on what we see in the video, it appears that she tried to send the federal agents down the hallway so that then she could help this individual escape the courthouse, resulting in that extraordinary scene we saw of the ICE agents pursuing this fugitive down the streets of Milwaukee. That's not what a judge is supposed to do. That doesn't fall within the sphere of faithful execution and implementation of the laws. This was a judge who apparently stepped outside her judicial role to basically frustrate and obstruct policies with which she disagreed.
All right, Tom, thanks for joining us before this Memorial Day weekend. Great to talk to you.
Thanks.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.